follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Great moments in history have begun with a question.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
And what kind of hair product does Mitch Moss use? But Follow the Money wants to know.
Do you concur? Concur with what, sir? Do you concur?
Swedelson in for Paulie Howard this week. Okay, so this is like the video version of the Daily Double on Jeopardy, right? When they would do that. This, I can't believe the WNBA Twitter account actually posted this. I can't believe how they have responded to what actually happened. For those of you who don't know, Paige Beckers and Angel Reese actually made a bet with each other. Now they're back. It was a joke, right? But here is like that 30-second video with the two players talking that the WNBA posted.
At All-Star Weekend, you and Angel made a bet with each other on this game. Is that bet still?
This is how the rich stay rich. You gotta save this money. I'm gonna see you next week on Wednesday.
Yeah.
At night?
No, at practice.
Oh, at practice? I mean, I know y'all gonna lose, but if y'all lose,
I get to have that.
If y'all win, you get 400.
And if we lose, then you get.
No, you owe me 400.
Bet I'm sitting on it.
Okay, so they made a bet on the game, right? There's the video proof, the WNBA. They came out and of course, they deleted it. But then they also said, okay, so it was lighthearted overall. Why'd you delete it then?
Yeah,
if they were joking, why would you delete it?
Yeah, if there's nothing behind it, what are you scared of being
Exactly
revealed?
right. And they came out and then said there will be, quickly, in a span of 12 hours, there will be no punishment for Reese or Beckers over this incident.
Oh, of course not.
I want a full investigation, and I want like mainstream media to be all over this. Do you concur?
What about the other betting scandals that have occurred recently that have been nibbed in the we've had the Sorsby thing, we had the NBA with Chauncey Billups and that whole ring there. Yep. I know it's on a different scale, but betting's betting. If we're going to regulate some of it, we have to regulate all of it. Here's the deal with the WNBA, and this is a problem. This is why it'll never have the traction that people want it to believe. And I know you get called a chauvinist if you criticize it in any way. The truth is, it has nothing to do with any of that. Why I don't watch it, I don't have the bandwidth. My brain can't. I'm just not capable. Maybe that's more me than them. But what really makes me not want to consume the product and be a part of it every single day is this stuff, because you don't take yourself seriously.
Not at all.
And if you don't take yourself seriously, how can I take you seriously? It's like dating. When I first went out with my fiance, it was in 2019. I was not serious about myself. I didn't have a savings account, right? I had 2 roommates in Los Angeles.
7 years ago, you didn't have a savings account?
I didn't have a savings. I did not take myself seriously.
Well, I guess not.
I did not pursue her again until I took myself seriously. If the WNBA is not going to take themselves seriously, why should we?
It's a total abomination, the entire league. And I'm glad Dan Patrick called out the commissioner when he's up in Lake Tahoe. She was scheduled to go on his show. No, you're going to ask me big boy questions? I can't come on then. And there's a local radio host here in town, Steve Cofield, who I worked with for several years. Awesome at his job.
I'm going on with him tonight.
Are you? Okay. He has been all over this for 20 years probably. You want us to talk about your sport, but you never want the criticism. You can't have it both ways. If you want to be covered, then okay, you're going to get a lot of heat when you deserve it. But you don't want it then, do you? You only want the rainbows and the unicorns. F off, WNBA.
No, I've read a lot of self-help books. Now, I usually finish, I put them down about halfway through because I think I fixed myself and I should probably start finishing them. But my favorite one, the only one I've read all the way through, it literally says in it, it's called Unf Yourself, speaking of that word. It's a great book, Dr. Gary John Bishop. And one of the things is, if you're going to do anything in great life, if you're going to be successful, it's going to come with criticism. You have to deal with it.
Yep. Okay, we're going to expand on this unbelievable ticket that FanDuel posted earlier today.
Ridiculous.
It's a parlay with MLB awards in about 10 minutes here. But I would say we only know one winner of an MLB award as of right now. Do you concur?
Yeah, it's AL MVP and Yordan Alvarez. I do think Schlittler is starting to get there for Cy Young, but I'm still concerned.
But we can't call him the winner yet, though.
I'm still concerned about the innings. I'm still concerned about managing down this. But unless Yordan Alvarez is hurt, that's the only reason I didn't bet it. Every year this guy gets hurt. He doesn't get hurt the one year I don't bet on him. It's killing me. Yes, that award is done.
Right, everything else is like, even the NL Cy Young is still open because we don't know exactly what's going to happen And both rookie of the year markets are still open, right? There's still 2 months of baseball left that we're talking about here.
And I'd love to make a case for Caminero. You have a ticket as well. I have 40-1.
It's a great number.
And he went on that heater. He went on that run. I don't know if there's enough juice there for the stats.
Yep. Speaking of awards, NFL, you cannot bet Fernando Mendoza, nor can you bet Jeremiah Love to win Offensive Rookie of the Year right now. Do you concur?
Absolutely concur. You cannot bet either of those. There's too many options on the board. One, Mendoza, we don't know how much he's going to play. And if he's going to beat you at such short a number, tip your hat, you move on. That's fine. Jeremiah Love, I don't know how you don't learn from the Raiders' mistake. They drafted Ashton Genty, and it's the same situation. Rebuilding, bad quarterback play, bad offensive line. You're going to be losing. There is no use for a running back. So when they're trailing late in games, Jeremiah Love is not going to be on the field. On top of that, they have a logjam of running backs.
They brought in Algier, and they're like making it a point to say that, we're going to probably split.
And they're saying that James Conner is going to be a part of it.
I like James Conner.
I do too, but he's going to hurt Jeremiah Love's case.
Yeah. By the way, the Cardinals have one of the most difficult schedules to begin a season I've ever seen in my entire life.
You can't run the ball if you're losing.
That's the thing.
It's the most simple thing in the world.
And I would actually buy... JVT has been about Beck because the Brissett thing was open, but then they obviously gave him the raise or whatever, the extension for this year. But at some point, Beck, who they took, third round, will probably get in. They're going to be trailing so often that you think they're going to get back into these games, and they have awesome weapons to throw the ball to.
Empty calorie stats. He's going to be losing. He's going to be thrown from behind. All right, let me throw one your way, a wrinkle. Watching TV shows, and Paul Howard is an example of this at times. Watching TV shows is a single man's game. Do you concur?
Man, it's a great question. Not fully, and I'll say this because my wife and I have had runs where we agree on the same show, and it's the thing that we do together, right? Like we're looking forward to the next episode of whatever show that might be. I would say that it's definitely not a marriage game along with a young kid. Because now Sebastian's 2 years old, you can forget about us having any chance to watch TV shows that have 3, 4, 5 seasons. It's not happening.
I did this because I made a TikTok yesterday at Dustin Swedelson where I don't control my TV at home anymore because we live together. And she can't sit still. I'm a binger, obviously. I want to watch 4 or 5 episodes. I want to get in it. I want to feel like I'm part of the show. I don't want to wait a couple days to pick it back up. She can't do that, my fiance. So all we watch is a show called 90 Day Fiance, and it's the worst thing that's ever been on television. I hate it so much, and I can't stop watching and thinking about it. But we don't watch good TV anymore in the golden age of television. It drives me nuts.
Oh, that sucks, man. That I can feel your pain for that. Then for sure,
I can get her to watch 3 episodes, and after that, she's like, and not in a row. She's a productive human being. I know I am. I'm a piece of garbage. I just want to sit on the couch for 8 hours. But she'll be, all right, we got to go do something with our lives. And I'm like, we're watching a TV show.
I like it.
But Paulie watches every show. Every time I tune in, Paulie's asking, did you see this yet? And you're like, Paul, it came out Tuesday. It's Thursday.
Well, I mean, if I go back to before I got married, I'd watch whatever I wanted as well.
Yeah.
Things change as you get a little bit older.
All right, next one. NIL and the transfer portal made college football better. The product is better. The rivalries are better. There's more teams who can win. I think it's a better sport overall. Do you concur?
I can't concur. I can give you pain for kids. That's fine. I can't give you the portal. And then the thing that really kills me, the rivalries, no way, because of the super conferences. The biggest drawback to me on the whole thing, I can't stand the super conferences.
Well,
I'm not going to apologize for it.
If we went back to the old conferences with the portal, or with NIL. See, my one caveat with the portal is I think you shouldn't be able to transfer in conference. You should have to go to a different conference.
Okay. And you can only transfer once.
But I just think that the product is better. We have better players because guys who would have been 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks hoping to latch on in the NFL, they're staying for their senior year.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with that. And there's also this, right? We talked about the analogy yesterday to the NBA. They're kind of on the same timeline here, right? Because forever, Charles Barkley would go on night 1 of the NBA in October of whatever year, 20 years ago, and say 3 teams can win the title, that's it. And he was right. NBA has completely changed. Now it's wide open. College football for the first time going back down basically what you're talking about here, the transfer portal, NIL, and now clearly with Indiana winning the whole thing, that tells you that it's wide open, and it's not just Alabama or Ohio State that can win it now every single year.
Okay.
And that's a good thing.
This next statement I stand by, and I believe it was the end of the world. The world started to decline the day that Facebook let our parents' generation join. Do you concur?
Well, see, you could just stop at the world started declining the day Facebook was created. You could stop it right there.
Mitch, I logged on like 3 months ago. There was an RIP post from a blog that claimed that there were a blog on Facebook covering the Jaguars with an AI-generated picture that was not Tom Coughlin saying he died.
Jesus.
And there was comments on it.
How often do you actually log into Facebook?
Very rarely, and then people will get annoyed. Did you not see my Facebook message? I'm like, no, I'm not 70.
I specifically make it a point to tell people immediately, like when they bring it up, I don't check Facebook.
No.
Ever.
But I'm telling you, the misinformation, the gossip that occurs, the people cheating on their marriages where they've been together for 50 years because they found their high school sweetheart at 75 years old, whatever it is. Like,
I don't even know what this is. I'm glad I don't. Good Lord Almighty.
It was better when the world felt bigger.
Yeah.
The world's too small.
It's too small now.
I don't like it.
I don't disagree with that either. But is there a social media platform that you like? If it wasn't for breaking news, I would not even have an X account.
OnlyFans?
Does that qualify?
It's technically social media.
Okay.
Anti-social media.
How many subs do you have?
No, I'm not allowed on.
You're not allowed? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Been banned.
You've been banned?
Not from them. From the fiance.
Yeah, I figured. Well,
trust me, you have to do a lot to get banned from that platform. I tried.
This ticket is absolute. I'm so jealous of the person who made this bet. It's a parlay ticket on MLB awards. It'll knock your socks off. Coming up next.
Let me get your attention real quick, podcast listeners. I've got something for you that almost feels too good to be true. First, credit where credit's due. If you're listening to this podcast, you're already leveling up your betting game. You're riding along with our best bets and top angles. And when there's a good game on, you're getting involved with a few props and alt markets as well. There's one more layer if you really want to step things up, and that's VSiN Pro. I've mentioned it before, but things are only getting better for our pro subscribers. We just rolled out our MLB prop projections, breaking down some of the best edges across strikeouts, hits, home runs, and more. And that's on top of everything else pro subscribers already get, including public betting splits, expert picks, and betting guides across the sports calendar. If you haven't tried it yet, stop sleeping on it. You can get your first month just $9.99 or save big with promo code POD26 on the annual subscription. Hit the link in the description and start cashing in with VSiN Pro. All right, back to the show.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Professional bettor Paul Stone makes his weekly appearance with us coming up in 15 minutes. He'll give out best bets for the Big Ten this upcoming season. I love betting awards, most sports anyway. There isn't a Vegas book that offers, to my knowledge anyway, an opportunity for people to put together like parlays that would contain awards from the same sport.
Yeah, I haven't found it.
Maybe you can do some cross sport like NFL MVP along with like NL Cy Young. But like
once you start to look for a second from the same sport, it usually says it's ineligible.
That's exactly right. Now, a couple things here. That would be unbelievable.
God. Well, I don't know why they don't offer it. They're going to take all of our money.
That's the thing, right? I would love the idea, but I know myself, I would burn so much money doing these. But all you would have to do is hit one, and you're going to be set for a long time.
That's it.
But I would love the idea of this. And FanDuel posted this today. What do you do with this? And they said, put it in the Sports Betting Hall of Fame, and I don't disagree. There is a Connecticut bettor. Maybe it's Will Hill. A $1 bet on MLB futures placed on April 15th, 11 days into the season. It pays $203,000. Here are the legs. At the time, Yordan Alvarez was 10-1, American League MVP. That's the one that we think, unless injury, he's winning the award.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani minus 140, National League MVP.
It's crazy that early in the year that's what he essentially is right now.
That he is right now. That he is right now.
135.
Yep. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Shohei Ohtani might be the one that I have the biggest question about.
It was what, minus $7, $8?
Oh yeah, easy.
Was he ever minus 1,000 this year?
This year he got
1,800.
He got to like 3,500, I believe, in some spots.
That's the magic.
That's
Oh my God, could you imagine that's the bet?
Am I wrong?
No, keep going.
Schlittler, 18-1 at the time to win the American League Cy Young. He's odds on right now. That's still, I mean, we have 2 months left here. You brought this up previously. Don't know about the innings down the stretch. Also, there's a guy named Dylan Cease.
Yeah, it's hard to doubt him, though. It feels pretty real.
McGonigal to win the American League Rookie of the Year, plus 260 at the time. He's odds on. What is he, minus 250 now?
Yeah, and he was, by the way, he got off to a hot start. I think he was like 7-1 preseason, 5-1, something like that.
Okay.
So that was a quick jump in his odds.
Weatherholt plus 650 to win the National League Rookie of the Year. That one's still open to me. It's not, but he's odds on.
By the way, this might be a Matt Humans listener. He has Schlittler and Weatherholt.
Oh, Humans has Weatherholt as well?
Yeah. That was his favorite Rookie of the Year bet preseason.
I know he's got Schlittler at 300 to 1.
And I've been on the air talking about it because I'm not that I'm doubting it, but I'm just nervous for him because of everything that's up in the air with Schlittler.
Well, what would you? I'm guessing that he's grabbed a little bit of at least Dylan Cease here in recent weeks.
Yeah. At any point in time, he can do that and be fine.
And the final leg of the 6-leg parlay with awards was the longest shot. Jacob Mizorowski at the time, 20-1.
This is now FOMO, $1 on it. Do you regret not at least making it 10?
Well, this person will probably have that. He's like, why did I not have 10 to win $2 million?
God, 10. That's my thing. If I'm doing a parlay, it's at worst $10 on it. Like I can't go under 10. I like maybe if it's a ridiculous one, 5 if it pays out like 50,000, something like that.
Yeah. No, it's got to be at least 10, I think, right?
Yeah, you got to put $10 on it. Like,
yeah.
Not to, I mean, look, I've never had $200,000, so I don't know what it feels like, but if someone was just going to hand me $200,000 and I was just a $9 away from making it $2 million, I'd be pretty butthurt.
Right. The current cash out right now on his $1 bet is more than $5,500.
Don't do it.
Don't cash out right now. Let it ride for a little while longer. Would you do anything beyond that? Like, would you add PCA right now?
Well, because you only bet $1, right? Because I always think of it in what do I have to do to win my money back? Well, it's $1.
Yeah.
I'd put a couple hundred on PCA. I'd put a couple hundred on Cease. And I'd probably put a little bit on 2 or 3 guys in Cy Young and hope that if all else, to me, the Rookie of the Year, and I've been way wrong about that market. I have Sal Stewart. I have Murakami.
Yeah, but how can Stewart, he can win?
I hope so. They're obsessed with WAR, and the WAR on Weatherholt is off the charts. I think it's
the defense certainly helps. So
yeah, is part of that. But yeah, I mean, for now, that's what I would do. I would just try to lock in some money. I mean, it pays $200,000. If you bet like $500-$600 here and trying to beat some of your positions, you'll gladly end up losing those if it means winning the big thing.
You want to lose those bets. I put a bet in on Ohtani this week at minus, 130 for a couple. I hope I lose that bet.
Yeah.
Based on the other ones that you absolutely have to lock in some money at this point. And if you don't have it, call your friends, talk to your neighbors, whomever it is.
And if there's a chance that you only walk away with $500-$600, you know what? At least you made money on being right about some of this.
Yeah.
That is the thing I get caught up in. This is with long shot futures. This is with parlays. I know a lot of people go, I don't hedge. Yeah, dude, if I have 20-1 and I was right about something that didn't seem very likely and I can get a lot more money back than I laid out, I want to make sure I make something on the ticket. So I had the Knicks 15-1 for the finals. And you know how it goes, Mitch. If you don't hedge, your ticket loses. If you do hedge, you're going to win and you're going to cut into your winnings.
I know.
I was absolutely fine cutting into my winnings. I wanted to make sure I was right about what I thought was going to be the result of the final.
Sure. Well, also, there's this. Don't you have to pick a street when it comes to hedging? Because I'll bring up Nigel Seeley, friend of the show, soccer, tennis with us throughout the entire year. He says that hedging is for gardeners. He will not hedge. Don't you have to almost decide as a bettor, this is going to be my stance moving forward? I'm going to hedge when I'm in this spot every single time, or I'm never going to hedge?
Yeah, for the most part. In this case, this is an ego thing, I guess. I would hate to walk away with zero.
Well, it also depends on how much money you have a chance to win, I guess, with a future bet. So
I would just hate to walk away with zero when I was right about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I was right about 6 out of 7 and I walk away with $0, I'll be bummed. Yeah. I want to make something on having this thing played out exactly right. That's my standpoint when it comes to a lot of these things that pay out good numbers.
I can't imagine having this ticket at the end of the year. Awards will be announced in November. And if Ohtani is the only one that doesn't win, That would be...
That's ironic. He thought that was the lock.
Of course, the entire year. He's like, I got that one.
By the way, the news on Ohtani?
Oh, yeah. He's not in the lineup tonight. He's out. No DH. Not in the lineup whatsoever. Edmonds leading off for the Dodgers tonight. What do we make about that?
Well,
will that have impact? Because PCA was good again today. He had a couple of doubles. Cubs won. Walk-off home run last night. Check that. To give him the lead. They actually blew it then in the bottom half, but no fault of his, obviously. Will the odds move in PCA's favor now that we're getting wind that Ohtani's not going to play tonight? It's only one game, or is it?
Speculation's going to hurt. I feel like it's going to move, but with the announcement, it hasn't moved at all, Mitch. He's still minus 135 at FanDuel. And by the way, for tonight's game, the Dodgers went from, I think, minus 162 last I looked down to minus 150. That total is sitting at 8.5 right now. I want to say it was 9 previously. I kind of like the under without Ohtani in the lineup. Under 8.5.
Yeah. Well, the problem is
5.
The problem is you got Sasaki going for the Dodgers, but the biggest problem overall is
on the road.
And one of many reasons why I cannot stand this Mariners team. Last year was their year, and they blew it against the Blue Jays.
They're soft.
They're not a good baseball team.
No, I'm done making the case for them.
Yep. Brian Wu on the road. 1-7 and 11 starts with an ERA of 6.5, basically.
He allows 73 hits in 58 innings.
Yeah, the whip is 1.5. The Ks are at 7.8. Like, is that ballpark in Seattle really that much more important to pitchers? I know it's a pitcher's park.
Well, no, that's are these guys overrated?
Yeah, sure. At home, he's 6-0 with a 2.2 ERA.
Honestly, even with Ohtani out of the lineup, the Dodgers minus 150 could be a discount if you believe Roki Sasaki was tipping his pitches. You see, he went to this giant softball glove.
Yep.
He's been good since. If that's the case,
that's good observation by you. Yeah. That's a 50-cent move based on some of the numbers I saw last night.
Yeah. Oh, 142.
142 year circa. Yeah.
Hold on. That's as much as I'm speaking on both sides saying I like the under without Ohtani in the lineup, I still like the Dodgers offense without Ohtani more than Seattle.
Yeah, me too.
All right, let's ponder that one. Let me remind everyone, if you're betting at Circa Sportsbook, where those odds were from, for a limited time, you can fund your wagers and contest entries with crypto using BurraPay and pay no BurraPay transaction fees. It's fast, secure, and another way Circa continues to innovate for sports bettors everywhere. Visit BurraPay.com to learn more. Take advantage of fee-free crypto wagering before August 31st exclusively at Circa Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino. BurraPay transaction fees waived as part of campaign. Standard cryptocurrency network and exchange fees may apply.
You been to that ballpark, by the way?
No,
Seattle.
I've never been to Seattle at all.
Oh, it's a phenomenal city.
So I regret I wanted to do a baseball tour of Seattle, San Francisco, San Diego this summer, and it just got away from me.
Have you been to Petco?
I've not been to Petco.
Oh my good. And you haven't been to the Bay Area then for the Giants either?
Not for a Giants game. The last time I went to the Bay Area, I went for the Super Bowl this year, and I loved San Francisco. I love San Francisco.
Oh, it's a great city too.
Incredible.
West Coast is the best coast. What's the best ballpark you've been to?
I actually like Houston Minute Maid.
I haven't been to that one.
Really enjoyed it. I thought for what's now an old, ironically,
yeah, no kidding.
It's crazy. It's now considered an older one. I thought it was really beautiful. It was very well lit. That's the thing that stood out to me was like the roof was closed, and I was there for the 2019 World Series. I watched the Nats win.
I really specifically want to go to Pittsburgh just to go to a Pirates game.
Well, that's the number one.
And I want to eat the food there. And I'm like, that place just looks like, my God, they nailed that one.
Some people say Petco's better than PNC.
Professional better. Paul Stone next. He's got a regular season win total, an outright winner of the Big Ten, and a game of the year as well. Find out which teams and numbers he's betting next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Big Ten Media Week continues today, and more on that here as we go out to the Progressive Guest Line to get some bets. Professional bettor Paul Stone joins the program. You can follow him on X at Paul Stone Sports. Paul, good to talk to you as always, my man. How are you today?
Well, Mitch, Saturday's August 1st, so 2 days from today, we'll be able to say we have got college football that counts this month. So looking forward to it. Going to be another great year.
Yeah, that sounds terrific. Let's begin at the very top here of the conference. I think it's probably a 3-horse. Well, the odds tell you this, and that's what people are going to tell you as well. A 3-horse league, I guess, if you will, to win this thing outright. How did you decide between Indiana, Ohio State, or Oregon to win this thing?
Well, I'll tell you up front, Mitch, I've got Ohio State and Oregon power rated is at the highest numerical rating that I have. So they're basically tied for first, Ohio State and Oregon, in my power ratings. And I'm looking at, I decided to go with Oregon. There's a narrative out there, obviously. I think Indiana, first of all, is just a little bit behind those guys, a few points. But there's a narrative out there that Dan Lanning can't win the big game. And, I think at the very least, it's a somewhat fair narrative. I think Lanning's critics would probably point to what another coach in the conference did in his first 2 years at Indiana, Kirk Cignetti, making the playoff in his first year and then winning it in 16-0 fashion last year in his second season. But, man, you got to realize, and I know you guys know this, that's not even 1 in 1,000 type stuff. That's 1 in 10,000 and beyond. The Kirk Cignetti story, that's why it's so great, is it's just so extremely rare. The reality is that it takes time. It takes time to build, and Dan Lanning now entering his fifth year. In most cases, looking at some teams that I think are at top of college football right now, I'll start with Georgia as far as taking time to build. This is a team that in Kirby Smart's first year, I think we talked about this last week, 2016, they go 8-5. He has since been in the top 7 in the final poll in each of the last 9 seasons. Took him 6 seasons to win his first national championship, accomplished that in 2021. And then looking at Ohio State, Ryan Day gets promoted to head coach in 2019. If you extract the shortened COVID year in 2020 and look at his 6 full seasons, and I'm counting playoff games, conference championship games, bowl games, so forth, he's averaged 12 wins a year. But it took him as well, his 6th season, to win the national championship. Of course, the Buckeyes accomplished that 2 years ago in 2024 when they beat Notre Dame. I actually view Lanning's shortcomings to this point, perhaps not winning the big game, as just part of the process. It's kind of that adage, if you want to see the rainbow or whatever, you got to stand a little rain. I think it's a natural part of just pushing through the obstruction, taking a few shots, and making your way up the mountain. I think there's no question that Dan Lanning can coach. I'm not ready to label Dan Lanning as a big game failure at this point. I think he's got a championship in him at some point, and it comes down to roster. It comes down to players. And looking at this Oregon roster, starting with their quarterback, Dante Moore, guy could have gone to the NFL. Some say could have been the 2nd overall pick in the entire draft. But this is a guy, he's had some big game struggles himself, but this is a guy who has 20 collegiate starts to this point. I think that's kind of a delineation mark. I think when you get north of 20 starts, the experience kicks in, you start making better decisions. You're just a more experienced seasoned player. So love Dante Moore at quarterback. They got a great receiver room. In fact, looking at the 7 position areas where Phil Steele ranks the teams in those traditional 7 position areas, being quarterback, running back, wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, and secondary. Oregon is in the top 8 in 6 of those 7 categories. And take it a step further, they're either first and second in 4 of the 7 categories. So this Oregon team is loaded. They're a 6-point underdog at Ohio State on November 7th. Even if they lose that game, I think they make the Big Ten championship game. I think this might be Oregon's year. Plus 260 at most stores. You can find plus 280 to win the Big Ten title game there at BetMGM.
Paul, that's my championship pick. I've got Oregon winning it all. They won a big game at Happy Valley a year ago. I think they build on it. Their 2 losses the last 2 years that knocked them out were the team that won the national championship. Between Indiana and Ohio State, who scares you more with the matchup against the Ducks?
Absolutely Ohio State. Indiana, you cannot in any way detract from what they've accomplished the last 2 years, especially last year going 16-0. But I like to point this out, Dustin. They were plus 15 in turnovers in 2024 when they made the playoff. They were plus 22 in turnovers last year, 16 games. They pushed. They didn't lose the turnover battle in a single of those 16 games. They pushed the turnover battle 3 times. They were plus 1 or better 13 times, plus 37 in turnovers the last 2 years. As good of a coach as Cignetti is, that's not going to go on forever. They've got a new quarterback, Josh Hoover, in 31 career starts. The TCU transfer, 42 turnovers, 33 of those interceptions. I think Indiana is going to come back just a little bit in 2026.
Great numbers there. Paul Stone, our guest, professional bettor. He's on the Progressive Guest Line talking about best bets for the Big Ten this year. What is your favorite win total in this conference, Paul?
You know, I usually look at unders, and especially in today's new era of college football, I just think the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, even within the same conference, even within power conferences. I think that gulf's getting a little bit wider. It seems like ages ago, but the team I'm going to look at here is Michigan State. But it was just 4 years ago, if you guys will remember, the last Saturday in October, Michigan State, undefeated at the time, they host arch rival Michigan. Michigan led that game by 16 points late in the third quarter. Michigan State makes a furious rally. It was a huge game that day by Kenneth Walker III, 197 yards, 5 touchdowns. Michigan State rallies to win 37-33. The college football playoff inaugural poll for that season debuts 3 days later. Michigan State is number 3 in that poll. I think they might be going to the national title game, but it's been pretty rough sledding since that victory over Michigan the last Saturday in October. In fact, since that game, they are 11-29 straight up in Big Ten action. They're all 4 straight losing seasons, 5 victories or less in each of those 4. Of course, no bowl victories in the last 4 seasons, no bowl appearances. So they bring in former Northwestern head coach Pat Fitzgerald. He's a guy who had success, sporadic success at Northwestern. I think he did as good of a job considering the history of that program as could be done there in Evanston. But he did his last 2 seasons only go 4-20. His last 2 years in Evanston. College football has changed a lot since he was last on the sideline in 2022. I'm sure he can adapt, but it is a different game. Michigan State, they might get it turned around and show some improvement with time, but I think this first year is going to be a challenge for Fitzgerald and company. They only returned 27% of their snaps from last year. That ranks 119th out of 138 FBS teams. Only 5 Power 4 teams return a lower percentage of snaps than Michigan State. They opened the season with games against MAC members at home there in East Lansing, those MAC members being Toledo and Eastern Michigan. They probably start out 2-0, although Toledo can be feisty at times, but I don't have them favored in another game as far as their remaining 10 regular season games. I think it's going to be a long season. I think 4-8 would really be, I know they're not looking for 4-8, but I think that would be a pretty good start for Fitzgerald in year one. I think 3-9 is more likely than 5-7. I like Michigan State under 4.5 regular season wins, available today, -140 there at Circa Resort and Casino.
About a minute to go here, Paul. Game of the year line, October 24th, Indiana at Michigan. Hoosiers laying 6 on the road, 52.5 is the total. What do you want to do?
I'll try not to be repetitive. I've already talked a little bit about Indiana, but of course they're coming off that 16-0 national championship season. Kirk Cignetti has been magical. He is deservedly the talk of college football, but after being plus 37 in the turnover margin over the last 2 years collectively, I look for some regression with new quarterback Josh Hoover under center for the Hoosiers. You look at this Michigan team, Bryce Underwood was a huge recruit out of the Detroit area, had to play as a true freshman for Michigan, kind of got thrown to the Wolves. I think the second career game that he played, he went up against Oklahoma, one of the very best defenses in all of college football. I think he's going to be better in year 2. I think he's going to make better decisions. I think they're going to run him more, which is critical. The running game is good. Jordan Marshall over 900 yards last year. Keep an eye, though, on true freshman Savion Hyder. He is ready-made. He is a man. He is going to take college football by storm. So remember the name Savion Hyder. Looking at Indiana, they're going to start the season by playing 9 straight weeks. This will be game 8 of those 9 straight games. The week before, they travel to Michigan. They got to go to Columbus. They play a little team called The Ohio State University. Going to be a physical, emotional game the week before. This is also the trip to Ann Arbor, going to be their third road trip, in 4 games. I like Michigan +6 over Indiana.
Terrific analysis as always, Paul. Thank you for the time. Best of luck.
Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great week.
In Pocket plays next. We have some movement, and I don't like it.
The guy has an algorithm to determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're right.
All right, based on what's on the screen here with yesterday, it did not go well, but I did have Cam Schlittler K's. That's not pictured here. That was on the page, but Cubs was brutal. Yankees was brutal, and everything before we did this segment of yesterday was absolutely horrendous. So it was not a good day for us. We've gotten back early games, 2 winners, the White Sox and the Royals Twins under, but Cubs, epic loss. Yankees blew it as well. So this is what we're attacking the rest of the way, playing with a little bit of house money today, but in real talk, we're down for the last 15 days. Yuri Perez against the Mets, over 17.5 outs recorded. No Soto in the lineup for New York. I think that makes a huge difference. This game is beginning with a weather delay, though, which has me concerned about the routine. But Yuri Perez, pretty good track record against the New York Mets in his lifetime. I think he gives you 6 strong at the very least on the road at New York. All right, Nationals and the Bravos. Jake Irvin's first start since coming off the IL at the end of May. But I'm going to back him first 5 plus 115. You talked about it early in the week. This is the best team on the first 5 line all season long. And while Grant Holmes has solid numbers, he does not blow me away. I think the Washington offense travels, and I do think Irvin can give them a fighting chance through 5. I took a flyer and a plus price. And then going back to the Mets and the Marlins, we're going to go Nolan McLean over 6.5 strikeouts. He's been racking them up lately, going over this number in his last few starts. I think he can get 7, 8, maybe even 9 against the Marlins right now.
Okay, best of luck tonight, Dustin. No good last night with baseball. The one winner was Jose Ramirez over the 1.5 total bases. I think the process was okay last night. Just the results were not there for me. Example, Jackson Merrill had, I think, 3 really hard hit balls.
Yeah.
One of them would have been out of 4 ballparks, and the center fielder made a great play on it. So he had 1 hit. Could have easily had 3 hits last night, but total bases is a loser. Cubs, even money last night against the Cardinals. Not so much that they blew the game. I mean, that part sucked for sure. How about they got 0 runs off May? That was the most surprising part of the entire game last night.
Boyd was awesome.
He was very good. And then Muncy had a hit, but went under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And Joe Ryan got roughed up, but his pitch count was never elevated.
I know.
So he made it exactly 6 innings, and he went over 17.5 by the hook.
I thought you had that one when I was monitoring that game.
I was watching it here with Mike Palm. He was on the same bet. I'm like, are they going to yank him pretty soon? What the hell's going on?
By the way, 2 nights in a row, you have the same situation. If you look at the box score throughout, you're going, when you had the Washington Nationals against
James Wood,
the Blue Jays, you're like, they got runners on. They're going to win this first 5 teams.
There you go. Yeah.
And then yesterday, the same thing against Joe Ryan.
Baseball betting. Anyway, so I have nothing tonight for baseball. A couple of bets that I have future-wise here. Packers, I bet them twice so far under. 10.5 wins, minus 155, and 10 wins, under minus 135. I did not add any with the alts yet because the best number I could find was like plus 120, under 9.5. I might put that in, but I'll stick with the 10.5 and the 10 as of right now. They have so many question marks. I know Adam Chernoff came on an hour and a half ago and he gave out them to win the division. I don't see it. I think Love has to play at an MVP level this year, and I don't think he's good enough to do that. And the biggest concern, other than Parsons obviously not coming back till October, is their offensive. Like, brought this up yesterday. Like, you look at any metrics, any person who breaks this stuff down, their offensive line is projected maybe bottom 5 in the league this year. No thanks. I'm off Green Bay.
Don't know when Jacobs plays. Romeo Dobbs. Look, it was mix and match at receiver for them, but whenever Love was in trouble, it felt like Dobbs had a big
was
game.
The guy.
Right? Dobbs would show up when he was in a lot of trouble. So I'm not buying Green Bay as well.
Tough division, too, obviously.
Oh, even Minnesota's going to be better this year. They're going to have an offense.
They'll be feisty.
All right, this is it. Tomorrow's your last day to lock in early bird pricing on our football special. It's $175 through the Super Bowl before it goes to $199 on Saturday. Preseason football right around the corner. You can smell it. Get instant access to our NFL betting guide, futures, win totals, division races, and player props. Plus, on Monday, we release our college football betting guide previews of all 138 FBS teams, power ratings, best bets in all, and the Fantasy Life Fantasy Football Guide with over 425 player profiles, projections, and rankings, plus full VSiN Pro access now through the Super Bowl. Price goes up Saturday. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe.
All right, so we're both kind of off on the Buccaneers as well this year. I'm buying the Saints.
Well, they were my division winner.
The Buccaneers?
They were.
Okay, well,
until this drama.
By the way, there was a reporter there yesterday, or opening day, whenever it was, a couple days ago, who tweeted out a video and said, this is the most listless atmosphere I have seen covering the Buccaneers around training camp in 18 years.
Would you be excited to show up for work if your boss was Todd Bowles?
No, I don't. Not a fan.
Did you imagine? People are making fun of the John Harbaugh speech in the locker room. At least he's speaking. I don't know if Todd Bowles talks to the team.
At least words are coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So how do you feel now, Baker Mayfield talking about contract negotiations with the organization?
I've told you guys I've been pretty upfront and honest about my feelings about Tampa. It being home for now our family. We're raising kids here. We love it here. I wanted the deal done and set the deadline and told them it was going to be all ball after that. And I did mean that. And I don't know if they thought I was just going to take some of the offers that they gave. Disappointing in that regard to not have, to feel disrespected a little bit. And that's really the disappointing part, to feel undervalued after, thinking you've earned it. This is not a poor me thing. There's a lot of other people that have it way worse off, but I can sit here and look at other quarterbacks and peers and evaluate myself based on that and put myself in certain categories that I deserve to be compensated for that. And I think I'm a franchise quarterback. I've been told I'm a franchise quarterback. It's been said publicly from ownership down here.
Baker Mayfield letting his feelings known to the entire public and the media there, obviously. Is that just noise to you?
Oh, no, I think this is real.
Do you think there's something to it?
Oh, no. I think that organization is cheap. They don't want to pay him. Yeah. They'd rather rebuild. They're looking at the draft saying, hold on, why would we lock up all this money in quarterback when let's say we have the 15th pick next year, we might still be able to land a quarterback with the 15th pick that we believe in. It's that deep of a class. Baker Mayfield, third most passing yards in the NFL, second most passing touchdowns since he joined the Bucs, and they're not going to give him what he wants. I understand it's a business. I understand it's a game. For Baker Mayfield, what I'd say is this is the best thing that could happen to you, because Minnesota might need a quarterback next year. There are a lot of teams that aren't going to be in a position to draft a guy that makes sense for them. And then, oh, by the way, what if Matthew Stafford and the Rams win the Super Bowl? He rides off into the sunset, and they're like, you know what? We'd rather have Baker Mayfield than Ty Simpson. There's going to be options for you, Baker. You know what? Tampa Bay may think they can do better than Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield can do better than Tampa Bay.
When Chernoff was on, he made his team in that division is New Orleans, right? And if you missed Adam Chernoff's appearance, you can always go back and listen to the Follow the Money podcast, wherever you get him, obviously. He was very good. He gave out 5 of his best bets for the NFL season this year. The one that we disagree on is he's on Green Bay, I'm not.
Yeah.
And then there's this as well. Matt Mielko, who covers the 49ers, was on KMBR in San Francisco today, and he said, quote, "This doesn't look good. I think it's reasonable, rational, logical for the 49ers to not expect Ricky Pearsall to make any contribution in 2026. End of quote. Now, you had a great breakdown in the VSiN Pro Football Betting Guide about Brock Purdy to the MVP. I brought up Stribling yesterday, most rookie receiving yards.
I love that now, especially.
Well, okay. How about Rookie of the Year with him? His odds have dipped because of
25 to 1
in that neighborhood. Yeah.
Oh, I'm with it. I'm with it. This does scare me off my Purdy bet a little, but here's what I'd say. Deebo Samuel's still out there.
Yeah.
He knows the offense.
That's correct.
Stephon Diggs is out there if they want. There's a few other veterans. How many times have we seen Kyle Shanahan just find a veteran receiver and turn them into something? Now, they'll miss the athleticism of Pearsall, but I do think there's enough there and they can make up for it.
I really like Pearsall.
He can't stay on the field.
Can't stay on the field, which is a major
problem.
problem.
And by the way, this was the MO in college. When we start doing this, when we look back at the draft, let's always remind ourselves, if a guy hasn't been available in college regularly, like more than 1 year, we should probably assume that's something that's going to continue in the NFL.
I would say, actually, this would help Purdy's MVP case.
You know what? That's valid.
Right. If the offense is a well-oiled machine again this year, we can assume they still have tons of talent, but my God, the injuries every single year with
By the way, Jordan James is banged up as well.
Okay. But if he's able, like, man down already, one of his key guys this year, and they win 11 games and he has awesome numbers, you could look back and say, yeah, by the way, he didn't play with Ricky Pearsall for 1 second this year.
Yeah, I still believe in this team. I believe in the system, but like, let's also factor in the Kyle Shanahan injury impact.
Yeah.
It's getting off to a weird start.
Doesn't it always get off to a weird start with the 49ers?
Always.
And we had Sean Green on from the Sports Gambling Podcast earlier this week. He was making the case for Black to be Offensive Rookie of the Year because he thinks that McCaffrey's going to get hurt. Like, that's his MO too.
Well, now if we're going to list it, it's Shanahan's hurt, Christian Kirk is hurt, Pearsall
Kirk's
is
another
hurt,
one, yeah.
And then the second running back, Jordan James, is already hurt. So we've been in camp for a week.
I know. And I hate to even bring it up, but Kittle will probably miss some time this year. Love the guy, love the way he plays, but
we're not going to investigate the facility that's near.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, sure. Up next, VSiN Primetime, Femi Abebefe, Will Hill, breaking down tonight's action, finding you the best in-game betting opportunities on tonight's show. Mike North has his plays for Major League Baseball. Ben Stevens with Big Ten bets as well. Best of luck, everybody, tonight.